Hey guys, Kev here, and I have two knives to do reviews for you on. I am going to start with this one because I have very minimal experience with it. I'm not going to be doing too much talking about this one, and then we'll go over this guy right here. These are the Ohio River Jacks from C. Reisner Cutlery, aka Traditional Pocket Knives, TPK, traditionalpocketknives.com. Austin over there is awesome. I recently hooked up with him on Instagram and started chatting, and he was very, very kind, and he sent me both of these to check out. This one will be either getting passed along to another channel or two to review. I offered it up in a group chat I'm in, or it will be given away to you guys. This one here is going to be in my collection because I actually really like this. I have Troy over at Northwoods Leatherworks Co. working on a slip for it, and I'll show you guys that as soon as it comes in. And if you guys want your own slips for these, definitely hit up Troy over there. Let him know I sent you. You'll be able to get a good price on a dope slip in top grain or full grain leather, whatever the good shit is, Pueblo, Horween, whatever you call it. His stuff is bad to the bone. So let's talk about this. This is the double bladed Ohio Riverjack. Why the Ohio Riverjack? Well, my guess is because Austin is in Ohio and probably likes the Ohio River, and you have to have a name in front of Jack. So we went with Ohio River Jack. I love it. Great name. This is OEM'd by QSP out of China, the same company that did the Devo knives Stout. You could see the bead blast finishing, the micarta, the transitions, some of the hardware. I mean, it's got a similar look and feel, which is nice. It's cool to see QSP sort of showing their signature look, so to speak, because they didn't really have that, in my opinion. You can always tell when it's a Riot, you know what I mean? So it's cool that QSP has some of that going on. I love the fluted bolsters on here. It does have sort of, I think you would call this a coffin shape on the bolsters. Is this an end cap? I suppose it is, right? It's a bottom bolster. I love the modernized touch of the hardware, the way it is, having a pivot. I don't know if it's D-shaped, but I guess it would be, right? It's a captive pivot. I really like that. I will try to do a comparison video between the Jack Wolf knives and one of these at some point. I wanted to do a battle. This is my Benny's clip from Jack Wolf knives. And one thing I had a little bit of trouble with on this one, because I was trying to dial in the centering, which is a little bit off. I just push it over, and I've gotten over it at this point. But I tried adjusting the pivot, and you can take out either screw, tighten each screw. It's a spinning barrel in there, right? And messing around with that, it can be a little bit of a pain trying to, deal with the spinning pivot situation. And that's more, I guess, traditional, although ultra traditional is like pinned, I think. But having this captive pivot made it so easy on this one when I just, I went ahead and loosened this or tightened it. I forget what I did. I Loctited it. That's what I did. And you could see dead nut centered, and I just freaking Loctited it, captive pivot. So easy. Just tighten it down, you move on. You don't have to worry about tightening one side, putting a bit in the other side, holding them together. Like, it was just super simple. A nice modern touch that doesn't really give it some kind of weird look, like, you're taking away from it being a slip joint. The covers on this one are a brown canvas or natural canvas micarta. You can see the springs right here, nice and flush. We'll go over that. This one is a double bladed, and I am going to struggle with this, so I just want to warn you guys, I have the worst nails. So because I have drop shit on my nails so much, and I put like super glue on them, and I put that like nail strengthener shit on them, and I've done all types of stuff to my nails because of dropping knives on them. And when I say knives, I mean knife blades. So if you're not aware, this is the way I close a knife, like this, and I let the blade hit my nail. I am an idiot. I know this. But from doing all of that, I've kind of like I don't know, weakened my nails, I think. Like, they're just soft. I can bend them super easy. So using a nail nick absolutely sucks for me. And that's one reason why I don't have a lot of experience with this knife, because I barely used it, to be honest, because I just was tearing up my nails. But anyway, you have a beautiful Wharncliffe blade right here. This is in M390. We'll see in a second, 2022. You have a QSP machined satin. Now, for the price point, I think that's really nice. I don't know the prices like off the top of my head. I know the single blades start around 135 or 150, and I think maybe with the jig tie they are up around 165. And the double blades, I'm not sure if they have more cost to them or if they're around the same price, but I'm guessing they're all under $200 and they're in M390 steel. But because of that, you have titanium, you have M390 with a machine satin. You know, to keep the price down, you can't do that beautiful belt satin or a hand satin or whatever. Excuse me. So I understand the machine satin here, and I think it looks pretty good. So you have that beautiful Warney. It actually is pretty comfortable in the hand, even though it's super thick. That's kind of the biggest negative I have on this, is how thick it is. It's just an absolute tank. But you know what? It's actually comfortable. It's big. It's about the size of a stupid thick Swiss Army knife. I don't have one here to show you, but let's just measure it real quick and we can move on. So right here we're at 0.67678, something like that. Overall thickness. On the single bladed version, you are right around 0.45, which is absolutely fantastic in my opinion. Oops. So it's a thick guy, but you know that going in with the double blade. I do think it's interesting because for me, I feel like most double bladed ones are opposite, right? You have one blade that opens this way and one that opens that way, and that way they can work on the same kind of frame and it thins it down a little bit. In this case, they're both on the same pivot and they have to be, it has to be wider because you have two blades going the same way, and you basically have a divider in here, a titanium divider. So you have this beautiful Warney blade right there. Really good walk and talk. It's a little bit muted because of probably because there's two in there, but it sounds really good. You can see the spring, flush, absolutely fantastic. And then on this side, you have a spear point that I got it. Probably the only time I'm gonna do that. You have a spear point right here. Very nice. See if we don't cut ourselves. Oh, I'm trying to do the Austin. Oh, I did it. Okay, cool. I'm a cool kid. So, and yeah, that's called doing the Austin. So you got this beautiful spear point blade. The nail nicks are fantastic, by the way. There you go. Ohio Riverjack C. Reisner M390. I'm guessing this one says that too on the other side. Again, comfortable in hand. A little less so on this one because now you have this Warney sticking up. When this one is closed and that one's open, you have a little less of that hump because it's a spear point, right? But still comfortable. And now you have a whole nother M390 blade. I mean, this is pretty cool. If you're going to keep this in a truck or keep it in a pouch on your hip or something like that, I think this would be a good like work type knife on a farm or something like that, sort of back in the day style, because you get two M390 blades. I mean, it would take a while to dull those down, which is cool. So you can see here they are on phosphor bronze washers, and they are both dead nuts centered. That is, to me, the most impressive thing about this is they were able to center two blades on one pivot. I mean, to me, that's just amazing. When some, companies can't center one blade, they did it twice. So beautiful spring. This thing's cool, guys. It's got a little weight to it because it's double bladed, and it's got that girth. But other than those two things, if this is up your alley, it is made extremely well. QSP did an absolutely fantastic job. So moving on to the single-bladed jigged or jigged titanium sheep's foot Ohio River Jack. This one is absolutely fantastic. It's definitely my favorite of the two, and probably would be my favorite out of the whole bunch of Ohio River Jacks he has. And that's because I basically picked the one I wanted. So there you go. You have that beautiful jig titanium pattern. It's got a little bit of variance to it, which is cool. It doesn't look super uniform. You do have, I believe, these are T6s. We can check. Let's grab us a T6. I know the pivot is T8. Yep, you have a T6, T6. I'm just checking for tightness. Yep, all T6. Shout out to Get Good Screw for this screw preem driver. I love that thing. Comes on this really cool stand. Where is she? Look at that. Talk about modern and traditional. This one, dead nut centered. Like I said, I have it Loctite, aka super glued. Phosphor bronze washers. This one, I really love how I can grab on the edge here, on the spine, sorry. It's a double nail nick, so you get good purchase. Yes, I wish it was like a belt satin or a full hollow grind like the Jack Wolfs, where you just get a ton of grip. That's what I absolutely love about the Jack Wolf knives, is that belt satin and that full hollow just allows you to absolutely get a beautiful purchase. Even with a strong spring, you always feel confident in that pull. Now, this is really good, though. Even without that, I haven't slipped off in any way. Easily grabbing that. Ooh, damn. I'm trying to cut myself. But it is a little bit slick, you know, because it has that machine satin finish. It's a little bit slick. Everything's sort of rounded and chamfered, which is a good thing for 90% of people. I'm just one of those people with sweaty hands and whatnot, so I like to have a little extra grip. This is a flat grind. I would love to have hollow grinds, but again, guys, $130 to $160, something like that. You just, I'm asking for too much there. That's something that may happen in the future. This is a perfectly acceptable, honestly fantastic flat grind right here. Again, this is the old M390. Great edge on it. QSP did a great job on it. I love the sheep's foot blades. This is perfect for me. I've cut some shipping labels with this. You do have a decent amount of spring there that you're not going to accidentally close it on yourself. I love a sheep's foot and a Warney because of the fact that the way the blade shape is, you're usually putting pressure onto the tip, which is pushing pressure to the spine, to the lock, and it's not putting pressure this way. It's putting pressure this way where it's not going to close on you. So, you can put your finger up here as you're doing these type of cuts. What you don't want to do is cut through some kind of cardboard or something like this with pressure on the spine. And then when you come out of the cut, right, as you're going through the cut, of course, the pressure's good because you're getting it through the cardboard. But once you pop out of that material, if you're not careful, if you still have pressure here, you can close that on yourself. Now, it's got good amount of spring, so I really wouldn't worry about that. You can one-hand it like this. That's how I like to one-hand them. I don't have the thumb power because for me to get up here to get enough leverage, I'm way above the bolster line and it's going to close on you. So watch. That edge is basically level with the bolster or the flute, whatever you call it. So you got to keep your hand under that if you're going to do the old one-hand thumb close. And I just don't get enough reach, so maybe I just have smaller hands. So what I do is I take my index finger like this, push it like that, and then I'll take this one to close it like that. Now, I also very much enjoy two-handing them And I gotta say, the walk and the talk on these is absolutely incredible. It is close to the Jack Wolf knives. That is a huge compliment in my opinion. It's not quite there. There's, you know, a little bit of nuance, a little bit of crispness in those Jack Wolf knives that this doesn't have. Now, it does vary though. I would say the best of the bunch is the Midnight. Right? Absolutely fantastic. But then if you listen to something like the Benny's clip, not as snappy on the close. That spring has a little bit more mush in it, where the Midnight, the K9, the Sharpshooter are really, really crisp. This is closer to the ones I just named that are super crisp than it is to that Benny's clip that's a little more mushy. Now, they're all fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I'm being super critical here. But the fact that I'm putting this in the category with Jack Wolf's, it's on that scale of least, you know, like least satisfying walk and talk Jack Wolf to most satisfying walk and talk Jack Wolf. The Ohio River Jack's like in the middle of that. That's, to me, speaks volumes of this knife. So you guys know I'm a big Jack Wolf fan. I just absolutely love the products, and I love Ben, but he's got fantastic products. And I gotta say, Austin is right there with that. Absolutely love this knife. The ergos are super duper. They're very comfortable. One thing I will say that I'd love to see in the future, while this is comfortable and really a great offering, I do like the thinness. 0.45 is good. I would love it to be a shorter handle. So like if this was trimmed down a little bit, you could even keep the same blade maybe, or kind of angle it or whatever. Thin this down a little bit, just chop like a quarter off of it. I think this would be even better. So do that, add a hollow grind on here, and you got yourself a version 2 or another knife that would be absolutely phenomenal. So that's it. I mean, I don't really have things negative to say about it. I just have things I'd love to see on future iterations. But for this price point, what you're getting here, this is a home run. I'm very glad that I hooked up with Austin before these launched and was able to check them out. Just really cool dude, really cool website, really cool company, and awesome knives. So this is the Ohio River Jack. It's also nicknamed the ORJ. And then that's the single blade sheep's foot with jigged or jigged titanium. It does come in a Warncliffe, a sheep's foot, and a spear point. Okay. And then actually, so just imagine this blade shape on this handle. So you can get Warney sheep's foot, or see if I can do it, or a spear point, right? And you can get that with the jigged or jigged titanium. You can also, which is available now, the micartas and I believe the double blades are going to be dropping on the 26th of September. I'm not sure if this video will be up by then, so just keep that in mind. Links are down below. On the 26th, you're going to be able to get black, green, and natural micarta on a single blade with the 3 blade shapes. And you'll be able to get the double blades, which I'm not sure if there's different double blades that have like a sheep's foot and a Warney, or a sheep's foot and a spear point. I'm not sure. It could just be this combination, and then you have black, green, and natural on the micarta. But you have lots of options here with the Ohio River Jack. I mean, listen to this. Absolutely fantastic. This knife does have a stop pin, so you're not working on a traditional kick. It does take away a little bit from the aesthetic of traditional, but I think what you get in return is not having to worry about, I forget what they call it already, where it, blade wrap. You don't have to worry about that on this. And I think it's just a modern thing to do. They added the modern touch of the captive pivot, modern screw construction. Why not just add the stop pin, right? So I think that's a smart move. And honestly, I kind of want a Warney. So I might try to pick up a micarta Warney or another jigged tie with the Warney. I'm a Warney sheep's foot guy, and I'm just really liking this knife. So maybe to show my support, I'll go ahead and pick one up. So there you go, guys. Let me know what you think down below. I know you've probably seen plenty of content on these, but I wanted to give my 2 cents. And it's the real deal. So I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. Big shout out again to Austin. Thank you for sending these along. This one will get given away or passed along to another channel for review. And please go check out traditionalpocketknives.com. I love you guys. Hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.